Hey guys, this is Sikanimi Comics. Alright, happy 2022. Happy New Year, guys. This is the very first video for 2022, and I want to start by um, talking and sharing about what is good and what is not good way of collecting. So before I get into the depths of things, just say there is no bad way of collecting. All right, it's just a matter of other person's opinion. If you're happy with what you have, if you're happy with what you have purchased, then that's all it is. All right, and I'll go down the line about how the comic book collecting or in this hobby should pay for itself. All right, first, if you're brand new to comic book collecting, just take a note and figure this out by yourself, because we all went through that curve of trying to find that perfect way, but there is no perfect way. But trying to find a streamline of good way of what you end up at the end of your collection, or even the middle, or regardless what the timeline will be, that you'll be absolutely happy. As for collectors, we all do have this non-satisfactory feel to it, that we always need to get more. But stay within your budget and let the hobby pay for itself. All right. So let me start by saying, as for me, I started as a run collector. I started my collecting comic book back in 2006, so about 2000 and oh geez, 2016, 2017. This is when all the Marvel Avengers came out, Civil War. Uh, DC Rebirth had relaunched after they finished the 52. So it was, I don't know if it would be considered as a great time, but I think I got in at at the time that I thought was suitable to start everything brand new. So I got every little issue that came out on DC. I was not much of a Marvel fan because I did not understand it, but I was more of a Spider-Man fan. So I grabbed a lot of the Spider-Man, which was Miles Morales, and some other DC key books after watching a whole year of comic book haul. And I just thought that I should get started on my channel, and here we are after 6 years. Okay, so as for me going back again, I used to be a run collector. I used to get every issue of Superman, Batman, Detective Comics, Spider Man, and whatever Miles Morales I could pick up on eBay, especially his first appearance and all. And that's how I got started to collecting. Now, after 2 years later, I realized that I wasn't very happy with my collection, because later on I started to weigh on monetary value of my collection. I spend, let's say, if I spend $500 on the past year with all the comic books that I have, yes, I enjoy reading them. I enjoy interacting with a lot of the YouTube channel that talks about the new comic book day and FOC. But towards the end, if I really need to resell this book in order to for me to get other book, will it pay for it? And I can tell you right now, it's one of the 8% that your collection that you have spent $500, that you will get $500 back, unless that one book it becomes a major key. All right. So I switched my collective style. All right. I switched my collective style. So I went into more of variants, the hard to get variant, hard to get books, and some few minor modern keys. That's why I focus. And I got rid of all the books that I had owned before. I started new again, and kind of kept the one that I thought that was meaningful for me. All right. Then then everything grew. Everything started making sense for me. All right. You're not gonna always hit the jackpot, but if you are into new releases in the FOC, please do a diligent research before you start going and buying. All right. And I can tell you right now, do not listen Do not listen to all of these YouTube channels saying that you need to get this book. This is a good book to get. Always take it as a grain of salt. All right, it's their opinion of what they would think about their books, and I can say that not all the time they're right. All right, their batting average probably be 300. There's really good speculators. All right, and most of the time it doesn't pan out. Okay, so you can listen to them, kind of get an idea of what books you want to pick up in the new comic book day on FOC and pre-order some certain books. All right, there's a really great channels out there that you can go on, and I'm not gonna say who what the channels are. That is all up to you to figure that out. All right, I'm just telling you, do not listen to them as if they're the god of comic book community and telling you what is a good book to get, because I can tell you right now, if their batting average is under 300, they're okay. All right, but if they're batting around above 300, they're doing pretty good. There's about hundreds and hundreds of comic book out there that releases each week. You can't get them all. You cannot always hit a home run. All right, but if you pick to choose what you want in your collection. One, are you a variant collector? All right, are you incentive? Are you the one out of 25, one out of 50, or are you just a cover B guy, or are you just totally into reading a good story? All right, but if you really break it down to a lot of things, if you want a great read, go to independent comic titles like Image, Boom, Aftershock. I can go on. All right, look into their new releases that will happen. All right, and like I said, FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. That needs to be get rid of at all time, because when you start chasing, that is it. That is the game end right there. All right. What I mean by game end is you want to pick those up on the day of release or pre-order so that you get it at cover price. Once that book starts heating up, depending how many copies or if you want to keep it or not, do so. You can resell them. And this is what I talked about in the beginning of this video, is that let the hobby pay for itself. All right. There's many ways of doing that. You can go out hunting. Hunting is by going to LCS, going to all different sources like pawn shop, Goodwill, flea market, cons, LCS, garage sale, whichever means you go there. If you find a comic book and find something that is valuable, that is a key or something that you notice that this certain book is worth more than what I'm going to pay for, and as long as you know that you can go and flip it and sell it at a premium price for you to keep continuing getting into the hobby without damaging your credit card, going into debt, spending more than what you need to do per monthly or even weekly. And this is clearly of not everybody. I can tell you right now, you can make $100,000 a year, but still you need to control how you spend and budget yourself on a weekly to monthly basis. All right, so you can be, I'm into Wolverine, I'm just saying, I want to get a CGC. Okay, grading is a whole different matter. Okay, we can go into that in the next topic. All right, but yeah, I want to get a Wolverine. Laura Kenny X23, why not? All right. Suddenly you got that at a cover price and it goes up to $15-$20. You only got one copy. What do? That is all up to you, how important that book is. But if you're going to hold on to it until it blows up more. Okay, don't be selling it and later it becomes a $50 book. Like I said, long as you made your extra more than what you have paid for, that is a profit. Okay, or are you going for variant, a low printed variant? Are you into certain artists? There is so many depth, but right now all I want to talk about is a certain way of collecting. What collectors, what is there? I just want to kind of have you think about What is my stuff collecting? What makes me happy? All right. A lot of out there people that who's already into collecting this they've been into it for the past 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. So they already are kind of situated with their or satisfied or content with their collection, and they're not really going out there to buy more comic books. But for you new collectors who has been collecting for a year and two, I can tell you, I tell you right now, just be careful how you spend your money. All right, let the hobby pay for itself. Or are you a comic cover collector? Right? I just like great art. That's who I am. That's how. That's is my focal point right now. Is that I'm so content with where I am right now, that I don't really look for anything, but I do sell. Right? I do not do trades because it's just who I am. But I sell, and I sell something I have double of, or something that I don't feel that is not needed in my collection. I do sell them, and with that money that I make, I do get something else, a new comic book variant. I don't know. It's just all depends, Or this, like I said, I'm a comic cover collector. I'm into variants. I love beautiful covers. I love colors. I love rare, hard to find. Um, so with that said, there is no such thing as wrong way, and please do not let anybody say otherwise. If you're a completist, if you want to do a Spider-Man 1 through 600, go do it. But don't go into debt by doing it so. All right? Take it slowly, and just because you don't read the comic book, they say that you're not a collector. Just because you do a run, or you have like 100 long boxes, because you have over 10,000 comic book, it is what it is. It makes you happy. It is who you are. Don't let anybody tell you what it is. All right? Don't get discouraged. All right? The only time you should be discouraged is you tell yourself that you're going to spend $100 this month alone just on comic book, but you end up spending 300. Now there is a problem. All right? You should rethink about how your collective styles are. You should think about certain books that you should sell to get some money back so you can start buying new comic books again, or just get rid of all your collection to buy that one huge mega key that you always wanted. All right? Um, you know, are you into Adam Hughes? All right? Adam Hughes comic book covers are great to collect, but is that your cup of tea? Maybe not. You know, are you into J. Scott Campbell, which I am? All right. I'm also, like I said, into incentive variants. All right. Make friends within the comic book community and ask them questions. Ask them, hey, what do you think about this? But always take their opinion as a grain of salt, because what really matters is what you think, not what other guys think. All right. Um, are you into beautiful covers? These are some of the books that I got. Uh, Lo and behold, I had to learn from the hard way of doing things. All right. I wasted hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get to a point where I'm at right now. All right. And till this day, I buy books that, why did I buy this book? 2 months later, I go in through my short boxes. I don't need this book. I don't need this book. What do? I sell it. Even though I sell it at cover price, because that's what I got it from anyway. All right. It's an even, you break even. It didn't cost you anything. Probably cost you time to list and package and so and so. But the bottom line is you did not lose any money on it. When you start losing money is that when that FOMO kicks in and the top 10 list comes out and you said, oh man, top 10 list, okay? Is selling for $150. Oh man, that's a beautiful cover. This was a $25 book, right? Now you're gonna spend an additional $100. We don't know if that book will sustain its price or not. But now you're going out there, grabbing this book, going on eBay, or whatnot at, and paying 80 to $100, or maybe 150 at most, depending on the condition. And now you're spending more than what you had to. What about your new comic book day? So, like I said, let the hobby pay for itself. Get close to a lot of the community, and ask a lot of questions. That's the only way that I have learned, is to ask questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And if you have a good friend within the community, they'll tell you exactly what they think, and they'll tell you, hey, this is coming up. What do you think? Grab it if you want it. All right. This book came out as a $25. How much is it now? Really doesn't matter to me, but it doesn't matter to you, because if you're into monetary value of the book that you just picked up on a modern book, good luck, buddy, because like I said, there's so many variants out there, so many other books that out there. You never know what's going to make the money and what is not. To me, if I'm going to spend $18 or $25 on a book, I better be damn sure that I'll be very satisfied with the cover. All right? And if this is a $5 book later down the line, who cares? This is my book. It's a beautiful cover by Warren Lowe. All right? It's just how your mindset should be. All right? I think this is pretty much will come to, I'm probably going to be doing a 20-minute segment of collecting. Right now is what is a good way of collecting. There is no good way of collecting, but there is a bad way of collecting. Spending more money than you should on a book or on a run or anything else in that is comic book related. And don't let that FOMO kick in, because if you miss the bus, let it go. If you miss the boat, let it sail. There's always going to be another book in every week. In each month, there's going to be a certain books that you can get that FOMO will kick in and say, thank God I got that for cover price. All right? And one for me is this right here. All right? Pay $25. Was it $25? I'm not too sure now. But damn sure I did not pay $120 to $150 for this book. All right? If I haven't gotten it, would I be going out there spending $150? Probably not, because I have learned my lesson. But a lot of people will. If you're watching this video, if you considering that if I don't make any sense, then I'm talking out of my ass. Leave a comment what you think about this video, and I will go more in depth with CGC grading, CBCS, what is good, what is not, the pros and the cons, along with variants. Okay, there's probably going to be a segment of videos going through down the year 2022 and do a little bit more of show and tell. And this video actually got me thinking why I should do this, because thanks to Richard, he had done a video back in 2021 in December. It was just showing his random comic book. He just talked about the comic book community, about how he has evolved, and what he thought is his opinion about good and the bad. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. The only thing that should matter is you. You as a collector should matter, and always be happy with what you get. If you don't, take a step back and look to see what you need to do to refine or retune your collection. I took a 3 months break I really wanted to say, you know what, I'm done buying comic book. It saved me a lot of money and it's a lot of time. Then, of course, things like this pops up, you know. Um, things like this pops up, you know. Then I said, yeah, you know what? I think I might get one or two here. All right. Like I said, I'll go more in. There is no bad way of collecting. All right. There is no good of a way of collecting. All right. You can do a run. You can do just covers, or just buying comic book because you want to read. By all means, man, do what you need to do. All right. But as for right now, I just want to say, do not let other influence you on how you collect, and whichever channels that you watch and they tell you that these are the books that you need to get, you need to look out for. Make that decision all on your own after you do some research. All right, go to LCS, ask for the preview books. All right, or or sign up with some of the online site, because they'll send you an email about the new releases. All right, and talk, and if there's certain books that you're not too sure of, ask the comic book community of what do they think, and take it as a grain of salt, because the most important thing, once again, I repeatedly going to repeat myself again over and over, it is up to you how you want to collect. All right, it is up to you to make the final decision of if you want to purchase it or not. But do your intensive research on a new comic book that comes out each week. Do it so in a week, do it so in a 2 week, 3 week advance before it comes out, before you start missing it and that FOMO kicks in and you buy that book for premium price, because that is when you lose the game. All right, guys. That's all I have to say, and I just wanted to show some comic book haul. I mean, comic book as well too, as I was talking, because just watching me boring as hell. So yeah, leave a comment or tell me what you think. Like I said, more segment of this type of video will coming your way throughout the 2022. All right, guys. With that, aloha, mahalos, and shoots.